Welcome back, everyone. Who killed Amy Mihaljevic? It's a question that has baffled investigators now for 17 years.
Sweet little girl from Quiet Bay Village, kidnapped, murdered. Well, one researcher thinks the killer is still here, still living in Bay Village.
James Renner walks along a sidewalk in the same Bay Village shopping center where Amy Mihaljevic was last seen alive.
Bring her back safe.
The investigative journalist was 11 years old when Amy was kidnapped, a boy captivated by the case, a man hoping countless hours of research will help somebody solve the puzzle.
It'll dawn on them that they know who killed Amy.
Amy Mihaljevic, bright, charming, brimming with potential, kidnapped in broad daylight, right across the street from the Bay Village Police Department. Renner was hooked from day one.
I thought that maybe I could find her, so, whenever I'd go out to the mall, I'd look for her in the crowds. Just, all that I could think of was maybe she's just lost. Maybe she just got lost in a store someplace.
But Amy was murdered, her body found months later in an Ashland farm field.
Just knowing that somebody had murdered this cute little girl. I mean, it was just too much for me to comprehend at the time.
The case never really left his mind. Who killed Amy? He had to dig deep. Renner tracked down witnesses and suspects. It's all in his gripping book, Amy, My Search for Her Killer.
It's my personal belief that the person that abducted Amy Mihaljevic is still living in Bay Village.
That would rule out Billy Strunak. Bay Village police say he was among many thoroughly investigated. He looked like a composite sketch of the killer and worked at the Amy Volunteer Center after the kidnap. Court documents show he was convicted of disseminating harmful materials to juveniles. Renner found a woman who claims Strunak tried to kidnap her when she was 16. He committed suicide 13 days after Amy's body was found. A man came up to Amy outside what used to be an ice cream shop. Amy had confided to some friends that a man was going to buy her mom a present because her mom had just gotten a promotion. And Amy could get a present too. Problem was, Mom did not get a promotion. So, who is this man who just walked away with Amy? Renner thinks it might be a local playboy who'd recently done some handiwork in Amy's neighborhood, a man with a weird habit.
The first time I met him, when I tracked him down, he came to the door naked, just not a stitch of clothing on this guy. I thought it was an accident. I thought he had just stepped out of the shower.
He learned it was no accident.
This guy has a tendency of being naked out in front of windows.
Okay, what else does Renner share? Gold fibers were found on her body. Do they match carpet in a home or a car? And Amy's emerald horse earrings, riding boots, Amy's school binder, never found. Has anyone seen them? While Renner has his suspicions, he thinks there's much more information out there right now for Bay Police.
There's certainly enough evidence, though, that they can nail this guy, and I think it's going to happen. I really think it's going to happen.
It won't bring Amy back, but if someone is brought to justice, it'll at least ease the grip this horror has had on friends, family, and community for so many long years.
A Bay Village detective still assigned to the case tells me he has these concerns about the book. There are not just a handful of suspects. There are many more, he says, and he doesn't want the book to discourage any tips from coming in. He says the notion that the killer may still live in Bay has no basis in fact. He wants you to know the book contains the author's theories and do not represent the view of investigators necessarily. Now, to read the entire first chapter of Renner's book, go to myfoxcleveland.com and click on News.
Very interesting. Maybe this will be the nugget that will inspire someone to come forward if they have some new information.
Police say they are getting tips regularly, and all tips that come in are thoroughly investigated.
Very interesting, Lou. Thanks. You know, it already looks